What is that?
Proof. We all lost something that day. But that's not how this story ends.
What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today we have a load of information to talk about, so it's going to be a long video. When I say a long video, I mean long enough to go sit back and relax and grab some popcorn, because it's going to be interesting. Now, as always, I do have a question in today's video, and it's a different one because a lot of people feel very different about it. So today's question is, do you think this game will be better than Spider-Man PS4 in terms of a superhero game and of course a single player aspect of it? Now, I want you to comment your thoughts below as to whether or not you do think it is. Again, a lot of people consistently say that Spider-Man PS4, although it's a separate game and complete different sector, I guess, to an extent, a lot of people say it's hard to be topped, but I want you guys to leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And as always, if you could please leave a like, it would absolutely mean a lot. It allows us to reach more people, and subscribe if you have not already. So diving into the information in this video, we have regarding the control layout specifically for the PlayStation 4, and then we have some great information again from our good friend Spoonzill, which is about the single player, multiplayer, regions, war zones, locations, hero missions, and the main campaign as well. Now, he explained it a bit more in depth than the game overview trailer, and we have some great info to dig out from that. Now, diving in with the first one, it's the control layout for the PlayStation 4 that was posted on Reddit. Now, this is interesting because I did see a comment stating that, you know, we can't believe we're at a stage now where controls are getting us excited, but I guess that's the situation we're in right now. But what's interesting is, although this was revealed, of course, last year to the people that were able to play the demo, etc., from E3 and so forth, the interesting thing here, we have the basic controls as you can see in the back. We've got aim, which is L2, R2 to defend, then you got your heavy melee attack and your power attack, you got circle to evade, X to jump, you got square for a light melee attack, and if you hold it you get a special attack, and then of course adjusting the camera, etc. But the interesting thing here is tactical awareness, which is R3. So I've seen a few comments regarding the tactical awareness under this thread, and we had a few examples as you can see on screen. So we have tactical awareness. I wonder what kinds of things that will be used for, possibly to help spot nearby chests and collectibles and highlight nearby enemies, which is actually an interesting thing. It could possibly be like that. But then we had another comment that stated, do you think that tactical awareness is a detective mode, which is essentially like in Arkham, or a listening / focus from The Last of Us type of thing? Now, if you've played either of those games, you kind of get a gist of how these work, and I guess that would make sense. But is it going to vary from character to character, or is it just going to be, you know, one flat out thing that I guess every character responds the same to? That's something that we haven't seen as of yet. But what's also interesting is, will we have the abilities to kind of redesign the controls in the sense of just change things around? Because I know a lot of people were saying that R2 to defend is, I guess, gonna feel weird to an extent, but everyone's different. I mean, if we could switch this around, then that would definitely be a pro. Most games do have that now anyway, so it's no biggie. Now, going on to the other information, which is from Spoonzill. So we have a lot to go through in here. So as you can see, single player / multiplayer regions, war zones, locations, hero missions, and main campaign, explained more in depth than the game overview trailer. So let's just dive straight into the info we have here. So he says this is all info that he can gather relating to single / multiplayer, again, regions, etc, etc. Now, some very mild speculation is talked about on some things. Some things also become absolutely obvious once they have been seen, i.e. shield, and then, well, the shield logo for instance, and then some info has also come from random bits of other info around the dev interviews, which, if you didn't know by the way, is literally just scattered through the internet. So there's a lot of information just floating out there, just everywhere. You have to, I guess, go and find it. Now, the screenshots were gathered from the game overview trailer, which will be linked in the description below, but most of us have seen this anyway. So, kicking it off, regions are war zones. Now, these are locations just scattered around Earth. Now, these are large open areas where we can free roam. He does specify he does specify free roam strongly here and play solo brackets offline, or up to a total of 4 players online. This means online we can play with 1, 2 or 3 other players. So again, that's the co-op aspect of the game. Now, locations within war zones, now these are basically places within the free roam area, which include facilities, buildings, depots, hideouts, etc. And he says we can enter these locations and go through and play a more linear level since it is enclosed inside a building. And again, here we got the facilities here on this second screenshot. Now, next up, we got missions within war zones. So, high value target missions that he's highlighted over here. He did say that he suspects that there will be different types of missions within war zones, but again, it's just not been seen or talked about yet. But again, you can see here we have when walks the Dreadbot, etc., and we have the brief description. Again, all things that we've seen, but these are purely missions within the war zones, which now we know locations within the war zones are essentially places where you can free roam. So that's really interesting. I mean, so far he's doing a great job. Now, going on to the main campaign, of course, a single player experience. Now, right here we have hero missions, which of course is Breakout. So there are 5 unique story arcs for Captain America, Black Widow, Hulk, Iron Man and Thor, and each Avenger has their own different stories. They will encounter different challenges and bosses along the way. Going off the map, there are stories that also take place within war zones, and he suspects that these story missions do follow a much more linear / enclosed path within the greater war zone map. Now, some hero missions may also take us on another mission location which is outside the war zones, and these will be more linear / enclosed. Now, he did finally end that part off on hero missions by stating that I am actually unsure if Kamala Khan has her own separate hero missions or if she gets her missions during the main campaign. And now in terms of extras here, we got the helicarrier. Now, he did say that our decommissioned base, which we get upgraded throughout the story, basically meaning we'll be able to go on missions to collect parts or materials to upgrade. Here we will be able to walk around and select missions from the war table, which of course is inside the helicarrier, which of course we did also see the little teaser as to why they have Captain America's shield. So this part specifically was very, very early on in the game. Now, lastly, what we have here is the harm room. Now, he did say he's unsure where this location is, but it's another location / feature in the game where we basically fight against a wave of enemies. Now, that's what he ended this whole thread off by stating. Now, this is interesting because we've discussed waves in the past, especially when we see Hulk is, we called it waves because there were these health boxes, etc., etc. So we just assume that if it's going through waves, you can smash these boxes open and kind of, I guess, re-up your health to an extent, of course. So that's kind of, I guess, how that's working with waves, but this is what the harm room would be. So I think this is interesting. It definitely gives us a much clearer perspective on how they're going with regions and war zones and where we can free roam, because I guess that's probably the one thing that is very, very unclear. So just to reconfirm, regions are war zones, and these are locations scattered around the earth. These are large open areas where we can free roam, and again, it's something we're going to be able to do in co-op and single player. So I mean, check out this post by Spoonzilla. As always, do go ahead and show him some support by just upvoting it on Reddit. It really, really does help out a lot, of course, for him, because he always just digs through great information to give to us. But again, I think he has done a better job here, just really clearing things up on exactly the location, hero missions, and the main campaign in general. But I want you guys to get your thoughts down below, of course, and let me know what you think about the controls, especially what you think about the whole tactical awareness. You guys let me know below. But guys, that's going to wrap up the video. As always, subscribe for more awesome content if you haven't already. There is a playlist as well that you can see on screen. And lastly, yesterday's video did actually confirm something really, really exciting for you guys, and it's the fact that I'm going to be able to do a Q&A with the devs that's going to be completely exclusive, where it's basically going to contain all of your questions, the most important ones, etc. So check that out for more info. But guys, I'll see you in the next one. Until then, have yourselves a ridiculously amazing day, and adios amigos.
Taskmaster.